Alright, we're back. I think I've just about leveled up with this. Completed the first mission, where I believe you just got to get all your clients on your list. So now, I believe we got to meet a new dealer. So there's my old supplier. Dealer. Show on map. This dealer is ready to be hired. Go to them and pay their signing fee to recruit them. Where is he? I wasn't paying attention when that bit happened. Ha! What do we got? Okay, messages. Uncle Nelson's done a runner. He doesn't want nothing to do with me anymore. Oh, God, get... I'm in love with the Coco. Journal. The journal just ends for some reason. It'd be nice to know what happens. You know what we need? We need some background music, right? We need some, like, lo-fi hip-hop. Lo-fi hippity-hop. That'll do. It does mean I'm going to turn the music down in the game. Management dealers? Jesus, responsibilities. A list OG Kush for sale in the product manager app. Oh! Yeah. Oh, that's what you do. Ah, shit. I was just going around asking them like a muppet. Get in. Oh, you're kidding me, right? What, this can't go in bags? Why not? I'm carrying a lot of stuff at the moment. That's better. In it goes. One by one by one by one. Nice. Right, we've got some shit. Okay, what do we do? What time is it? No idea. How do we check the time? Is that morning? 3 OG. Yeah. Okay, so I need 3 for the morning. But we're gonna need some more harvest. Right, this is how you do it. I think I'll just work this game out. I am the master. Here you go. Alright, so we've got 6 OG Kush. And like a massive bag of it. What else do we need? Cool thing. I hope that's 5. Right, it's in the morning. We'll bring some more just in case. Snippy, snip, 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 snip. Nice. Oh, I've got no baggies. Shit! I know what I can do. No, let's not do that. Oh, I can grow some stuff. I don't think I'm going to need some bags, but we are going to need some soil. Messy, messy. Don't leave evidence. In it goes. Nice. Little potty pot. Nice. No plants in this pot. Oh, no shit. Poor soil. That's right. Tippy tippies. Let's do it. Looks like shite. Nice. 3. Those. Alright, I need... Oh my god. Everyone wants shit. You're overwatering it. Oh god, I've overdone this now. I didn't realize that's how you're supposed to distribute it. That. Right, good, that one's going. How much have I got? Well, let's answer some of these messages. Okay. I'll answer these later once I get an idea of what I got. Hang on. Some more soil. Yeah, we've got not no buds. Right, let's communicate with messages. Where's my Dingleberry dealer? Right, 1 hour. Sleepies! Right. Finally worked out this game. God damn, it took a while. I'm a street rat, level 5. Based. Oh my god, everything's blowing up. Expires in 4 hours. Okay, we've got to move quickly. Just leave all this out. Fuck it. Not my problem. Okay, skate park. It's skate park. Who are you? Oh. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, bitch. What do you want? 3. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Bud's Bar. Where's Bud's Bar? Oh, it's down here. Sauerkraut Supreme Pizzeria. That's the next place. Are you the person? 2. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Sorry. OG Kush Bud's Bar. Hello. Right, you have to have this. Right, excellent. I got some money out of that. Oh, I'm making bank. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want something? We need soil. Bang, bang. Baggies! Soil. Jars. Excellent. Let's get back. Making that money. Right, let's put it in there. Deposit. Everything. I'm done. Can't believe I upset that person. Bad times. Oh, it's back. Snip, snip. What's this? Oh, inventory full. Of course it is. How do I throw that away? Water. Pour. That's right. Nice little mini game. Right, now I'm stressed because I was playing some sort of not the right version of this game where I just go around finding people. Didn't realize you can actually. Hey, Refuge, how you doing? Good to have you back. Oh, I haven't picked up my drugs. Under Westbridge. There it is. Oh, for God's sake. No, I haven't had time, I'm afraid. I had to go out and do some stuff, and now I'm back, so we'll catch up on the politics side the other time, and then later on. because I've got a few minutes until my family gets home, so I thought I'd play some games until then. Soil, soil, soil. A mess. Yeah, well, you're a drug dealer, right? So, and you got to do all the stuff a drug dealer does, like grow your stuff, then you go meet your clients. It's actually quite fun. Not really my game, but I kind of like the art style. And I've got to rush because I OG Kush, put that in there. Boop. I'm practicing. I'm not practicing, but it's kind of, you kind of learn a lot about it. I had no idea how like any of this goes down, and it's quite interesting because now you kind of learn actually how to make and grow. Like, well, at the moment cannabis, but you know it's going to get weird. There's going to be some like Breaking Bad stuff going on soon. Okay, right, you're done. You're done. That task is done. Packing station. Oh, I left it under the bridge. As you do. Ten of those. Go and get my baggies. Go and get my baggies. Do you play any games, Refuge? I don't know how to say your name. Is it Refuge or is it Refuge? How do I say your name? Right. Good. That's in there. OG Kush. I'll check out news in a minute, buddy. I'm just going to have a chill out for a bit. I don't mind talking about politics, but I've got all that stuff you sent me, and I'm going to go through that first. But I guess we can talk it in the meta abstract of things. Trump is making an agreement. What keeps happening is that Israel makes the agreement that is bullshit. So when Hamas say no, no one can blame him. Let me ask you this question. Do you support Hamas? It's an honest question. Like, is there any elements that you do support, or are you full on with them, or are you against them? What's your view? What do we got? Kush. Right. Yeah, sure. What time is it now? 12:03. Yes to what part of that? Yes. Sour OG. I've got enough. I think I've got enough. Tickler's Tacos around here. Eight. Who are you? Who's my... Not you. Is that Tickler's Tacos? Tickler's Tacos. OG Kush behind Taco Ticklers. I think they're the good guys. There are a lot of Israel propaganda in the West that makes you think. What makes you think? Well, I'll start off with what I originally learned, but Hamas's old mantra was essentially they wanted Israel wiped off the map, including the Jews, and they want to retake Jerusalem, which is genocidal. That's a genocidal chat if I ever heard one. And they haven't seemed to renege on that philosophy. So, and I generally think they are genocidal at heart. I reckon they just want the absolute eradication of the Israeli and the Jewish people, which is why they are and they have acted like a terrorist organization. OG Kush behind like 3. Yep, keep an eye out for the police. Uncle Nelson, I finished new deals. You finished a few deals and made some decent cash, but you're looking to make some real money to expand your operations, products, and more customers. The best way to gain customers is to give free samples. I've gave plenty of free samples out. You can view the potential customers on your map, grab some weed, and give them free samples. I know how to do that. Keep up your customers. You want to. I'm way ahead of you, Nelson. There's a cheap room for sale above the Chinese restaurant just north of your motel. Yes, that's happening. The charter says to send them back, not kill them. Their charter explicitly says they do not want to. Well, for starters, they haven't reneged on that. Their attitude, as well as you said about Israel, is exactly the same thing. The attitudes from some of their commanders and their leaders are one of just total genocide of the Jewish people and retaking Jerusalem. That's not changed. As well as attacking children, they're constantly launching rockets into Israel, not even aimed at military targets, and that's been going on for ages. So that's attacking civilians openly, which makes them a terrorist state. So that's not... I don't think that's really up for negotiation in that part. If you're constantly attacking civilians and not attacking the military, then you are indeed a terrorist state. Talk to Cheesy. Hang on. Let me get... Hey, yep, got that. What time's it now? We'll do it in the morning. Save when Jonathan... Alright, hang on 1 second. I'll just send you this. I can understand the persecution of the Jewish people, the genocidal actions, and some of the statements from Israel. But you also have to take into account Hamas are just, if not as worse. Shipping to Tatooine is this way. Oh, 12 hours. It's fine. Right, who else we got? Right, it's getting complicated. Right, let's get inside. The entire list is essentially their genocidal intent. Like, I mean, it just goes down. That's genocide is just removing the Jewish people from Israel and retaking, and also essentially like a single state. What's it called? And say talk about a single state. I believe that's a single state without the Jewish people. So any sort of removing of Israel is genocidal, right? Any attack on Jewish people is genocidal. So that's how I interpret it. Look, it's broken up into categories. Like the Atlantic has put them down into segments. And also I've got the doctrine of Hamas as well. Hang on, gotta play this game. Well, that's it's still genocide if you're removing colonizers, right? If you think they're colonized, which they have, they've colonized the land, they're still a recognized people. So removing them without an alternative, that's genocide, because you're removing an ethnic group of people. In the morning. Oh my god, my phone is off the shizzle. Yes! Leveled up. So did Poland commit a genocide against the Nazis by sending them back to Germany? What? So did Poland commit a genocide by sending the Nazis back to Germany? What? Well, they already had a country to go back to. So if Poland removed Germans from Germany, then yes, it would be a genocide. Next to Bud Bar. OG Kush, OG Kush. Oh, that's 8 over here. Oh my god, gotta work fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, I hope I don't get caught by the police. This could be nuts. Yes. Okay. 8 OG Kush at the skate park. Shut the door when I leave. God damn it. Right, that's one of these. And... oh, God, there's the police. Run, 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 run. I knew that was stupid doing it out. I'm wasting time fumbling around. The Jews can't go back to the countries they came from. Poland, Ukraine, Ethiopia. All of these countries, they don't need a Jewish state. If you got colonized, for example, the Syrian tribe. Well, the reason they left those countries because they were persecuted. Like the rise of Arab nationalism made they had to actually form a refugee state, which in turn turned to Israel. The Jews probably don't trust most of the European world, considering what's happened to Germany. And after World War II, most of them were expelled, even though they were liberated from the Nazis. So you can understand the attitude by the Jews by not trusting the Western world. So, you know. So, you know, before we jump ahead on that, you can understand that it would be a genocide to remove people from their land, even though they are, even though the existence of Israel comes under dubious circumstances. Technically, it's their recognized country, and I think a lot of the people recognize them as a country. Their country is formed in the same way most other countries have formed. They've taken the land and stuck a flag down, which makes it theirs. You know, that's how all countries are formed. And unfortunately, that's on the behest of the early Palestinian people. Zionism is older than World War II. In 1800, Zionism started. The Jews were planning to colonize Palestine. No, Zionism was like from the 80s, wasn't it? I thought the Jews were always meant to be like nomads, and just be a part of, just work inside of other people's parameters. Oh my god, I got too much stuff. Have a baggie. That's what I believe anyway, so we might disagree on that. Oh my god, I've got no room in my fucking... I can't throw this down. Ah, oh, god, I've got no room in my piss inventory. No, change containers. Buds bar. Go, 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 go. Buds bar, that's not Buds bar. Where's Buds bar? Ooh. Oh my god, I'm gonna piss everybody off. Shit. Buds bar. No. God, where is it? Oh, it's that way. There you go. The Palestinian Jewish Colonization Station Fundament hit the continent. Hang on. What do you need? 3. Yep. Right, got you. 2 OG Cash shipping containers. The Palestinian Jewish Colonizers Association was founded in 1992. To be honest, mate, my knowledge on this isn't as well extent as yours. Okay, so I can only talk about this on the meta, on the surface level. So I will listen to what you say, but I have to take it with a great grain of salt, because as much as I enjoyed the topic of this specific topic, I would have to then research everything you tell me, and it'll be just a constant back and forward. So we should talk about it in the abstract, like maybe as what we were doing earlier, because I think I had some valid points about how Hamas's behavior has led them to this pretty much point that they are now. And now we're just going back into history and discussing what do we think about how the Jewish state was formed. It's like this conversation's all over the place, so it's good to keep it make it a lot easier for me. I mean, you're probably good at this, but I certainly am a newbie when it comes to this. And also, I'm failing at this game. Talk to Mrs. Ming at the Chinese restaurant whilst carrying all sorts of nasties on you. 5. But it sounds like you've probably had these arguments before with other people, judging by how well versed you are in this. So it's unlikely you're going to convince me on my position when it comes to thinking Hamas isn't the bad guys in this. So if Syrians colonized Britain, hang on. So if the Assyrians colonized Britain, is the genocide to send them back to their desperado because there was no country called Assyria where they lived collectively? If the Assyrians, well, where did the Assyrians come from in the first place? So there's no country called Assyria. Well, they will have to be from somewhere for them to be, otherwise they'll be nomads, wouldn't they? So it is like, if you're trying to avoid calling it genocide when you're trying to eradicate the Jews from Israel, then unfortunately I can't help you with that. I mean, if you're trying to remove people, cleanse a genetic group from a piece of land, and not offering an alternative and sending them back to, was it Boston? What was that a common term used then? Unfortunately, that's pretty much for a horror show. People aren't gonna go back to a country. Go back to Boston or the Europe because one person thinks that's where they belong or came from. Jews came from Europe, Africa, Asia, and America. Yeah, they did. They also came from the Middle East as well. So you have the Ashkenazi Jews, you have Ethiopian Jews, the Mizrahi Jews. You get all different types of Jews, but they have ancestry back. Because no, as far as I know, Jews aren't a race; they're an ethnic group. So their ethnicity is tied into, I guess, a small collection of people, probably around that Jerusalem area. Oh, I'm not thinking at all about this. But yeah, so that's my point. So I still think you can't defend Hamas, and removing Israelis from that land would be considered genocide, as would be removing Palestinians from their land would be genocide. So any sort of harm to the civilization in a way of cleansing is genocidal. So that happens for both sides, both Israel and Hamas. It's water. Too many customers. Syrians also come from all those places, so if you colonize, you cannot send them back. And how do you accept? And you do have to accept what they did to you now. Syrians also came from all those places. Well, when that argument could be the same way, like, I don't know how someone would declare when a country is valid to be recognized on the world stage. Like how all countries are formed. There is one point where it was one country and now it is another. And the people then change. People become one group of people, then they became another group of people. That's just a part of how we create, different identities, different countries. It's just how it's always been. The Palestinian people were something else. They Jordanian before Palestine, so maybe the Palestinians should go back to Jordan by that argument. But you can't, because they're now a recognized group of people in Palestine, so you can't remove them from that area. So it works the same way around. talk to Mrs. Ming at the Chinese restaurant. Right. Oh, there's the Chinese restaurant. Let's go. Running with my pliers. Where is the Chinese restaurant? No, she's over here. Knock, knock. Hi, Mrs. Ming. I'd like to buy a room. Oh, I got no money. Bye. Great chat. Alright, how much have I got? So let's work out how much I got, then I can work out how much I can sell. Baggies. Needs to be more organized. OG Kush. We need... What time is it? All right, let's go. Hardware store. Down. Quick! Give me bags. I'm losing customers. Let's try this again. So much drugs everywhere. Go. There we go. Hello, how you doing? So the question, if you would, is what would you do if the Assyrians from all over the earth colonize you? Okay. Can you send them back and fight against them? Or yeah, you'd fight against them, of course you would. You wouldn't allow them to colonize you. You'd fight your breath till they've been removed. But they're not. They're colonized. They're not. It's like what you mean colonizing. Essentially, they have their own country next door to Palestine, so they have their own country. So they're not colonizing Israel because Israel is already a country. So, if Israel invades Gaza and Palestine makes it theirs, yeah, that would be that wouldn't be right, would it? But I guess what you're saying, the Israelis doesn't go back to Israel. Because they're already established, like just because they're a colonized state doesn't make it any less legitimate, unfortunately, than any other country which was established over colonization. Like remember, Turkey colonized pretty much half the world. Right. OG Kush 8. No, hang on, I'm streaming. I'll come chat to you in a minute. What's that, cookie? In a minute. I'll come see you in a minute. Let's say the Assyrians made Assyria in the UK. Yeah. And then sent all you to the tip of Scotland. No, of course not. And how does that... I mean, how is that... How are you prescribing that to what's happening in Israel? Because the buck stops when Israel doesn't want to colonize Palestine. If they don't want to colonize Palestine, then go back, and there's no colonization. Yeah, they don't recognize Palestine. I do, but they don't. But listen, Palestine's, in my opinion, has only been like formally recognized in the last 60 years. Oh shit, I'm missing out on this stuff. What time is it? 12 p.m. and 6. That's because what the Jews did. They took most of Palestine and made it into Israel. Now, is that true, right? Because, yeah, they conquered the land, which was West Jordan, right? I don't think it was actually called Palestine then. It was called West Jordan. So, yes, they colonized it. They did. But then that's where my argument kind of stops and the next argument starts. Like, once Israel has now been formed, now the next argument is like, what do you do with it? It's Palestine, yeah, I believe so. But even that's not formally recognized, is it? I mean, I've never seen a Palestine flag or a national anthem or a president of Palestine. But I could be wrong on that one. Let me type that out. Palestine. Does it mean Palestine or Palestine? Is that the same word? Oh, you are saying Palestine. Before the colonization of Palestine, no one called it Israel, including the Jews. That's it, Theodore Herzl, that's the one. Planned to colonize Palestine. Well, you see, you know more about this than I do, so the history is one thing. So we have to, if you want to talk about it, we have to stick to a topic that, you know, I can actually join in with, because at the moment you kind of, you're kind of going all over the place. So yeah, I mean, what do you want to talk? I mean, we can't do much about Israel existing now, right? It exists, and you know, if you want Palestine to exist and respect that, you're gonna have to do it to Israel as well, I'm afraid, because otherwise, what you're saying Israel's gonna do to Palestine is exactly what Hamas is gonna do to Israel. So the ball's in both the courts. So you can't have one. You have to have the same rules for both parties. That's what I think, anyway. All right, let me focus on this. Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Anyway, your original point was the more important one. Like, you can't. I failed to see how you see Hamas as the good guys. They're certainly not putting the Palestinian people first. They seem like, personally, I feel like they're the ones who've caused this entire problem that's allowed Israel to do what they do. I think Palestinians, if you care for Palestinians, I personally feel like they need better representation. Do you not agree with that? Sour diesel. Oh, that's sour diesel. Okay. Right, I've got way too much stuff here. 4 hours. Where have I got to go? 4 hours, damn it. Oh, this game's stressful. Well, because I don't think sending colonizers back to their native countries is genocide. Well, what native countries do Jews come from if you take them out of... Because if we talk about countries, it's not just places that people live, it's because they're countries. Just because Jews have lived in many places around the world, it doesn't make it their countries. They're just inhabitants as part of someone else's country. So yeah, so by definition, if you're moving the inhabitants of Israelis out of Israel forcibly, that is genocide. But this is my opinion, by the way. But I'm talking as if it's my opinion and not anyone else's. Nice. With that logic, you could just say, just because British people in India came from Britain doesn't mean Britain is their country. Hang on. With that logic, if you say just because the British people in India, because the British people in India, just because the British people in India came from Britain, doesn't mean Britain is their country. With that logic, just because British people in India came from Britain doesn't mean British people. Well, okay, well then, what country? A country is determined by many things, right? I guess it has its flag, it has its mantra, it has its political system. Before Israel, what was the Jewish homeland? You know, what was their political system? What was their flag? What was their national anthem? You know, there isn't, because there was no country, is there? There's just a mash. They were just a mash of nomads, so you can't send people back to random countries that they probably don't belong to. That's what I mean. That's my logic. I determine it from where they came from before they colonized Palestine. But that doesn't make them a people, though, does it? I mean, you can't send them back anywhere, right? And if they're second or third generation, where the grandparents came from, yeah, if they're a second or third generation, it's from the grandparents. No, it's from where they exist now. If someone comes from like India and lives here, by the second generation, they become British. So you can't then deport them back to India for whatever reason. They now become inhabitants of your country. I mean, they might be ethnically different, but racially or ethnically different, but their nation would be British. I think that's right. Anyway, I fail to see how you think Hamas are the good guys. Do you think? Let me ask you a question. Do you think Hamas are doing a good job representing the plight of the Palestinian people, or do you think the Palestinians deserve better representation? How much money do I? 870. I got plenty of money. Right, let's go. They can't represent anything. It's not like you have ever read a Hamas source on anything. All you hear is what Piers Morgan thinks. Who's talking about me? They can't represent anything. Is that a question? Hang on. They can't represent anything. That's not like you have ever read a Hamas source or anything. All you hear is what Piers Morgan thinks. And what is wasn't that? No, I don't. Is this because you can't answer my question? 4 a.m. OG Kush, 2 hours. Wow. Still gotta wait. Oh no, don't oversleep, don't oversleep. Well, you still haven't answered my question. I said, do you think Hamas are a good representation for the Palestinian people, or do you think they deserve representation? Has Hamas been a good representation of the plight of the Palestinian, or do you believe they deserve better representation? That's what I asked you. For it expires before, right? Bud Bar again. Oh, there it is. I don't believe they are representation because they don't get a chance to present themselves. Like, How can you expand on that? I mean, I think they've done a pretty good job representing exactly who they are, and their attitude towards their own civilians. So we can tick that one off first. Skate park. No, next to Bud's bar. Oh, there she is. Hello. Yeah. Rent the Chinese restaurant. Purchase a room above the Chinese restaurant. Alright. Insufficient cash. Oh, for God's sake. Done. Get the room behind the stairs. All right. Let's go move all this stuff in. All you know is that Hamas comes right from the narrative source Israel. False. Imagine you were Italian and any other Allied Germany. Do you think the Jews... No, I know what Hamas is because of their actions. Like, and their open admission to what they do. So... And also they got that site which actually has all their death and exactly how they died. So we kind of get a good idea of what they're up to. I mean, for example... Do you think Hamas should have been building tunnels underneath their city, or should they have been spending that time, money and resources improving the infrastructure of their country? So you don't have to keep saying where I get my media from, because that's not a retort. Even if I did get my media from Piers Morgan or Israel, it doesn't make it wrong, it just makes it my opinion. So it's either right or it's wrong or it's my opinion. Yes, they need the tunnels. That's what the Vietnamese did for Americans fighting against an enemy with superior technology. So, but don't you think those tunnels, that money and that effort and that energy they put into that should be put into the infrastructure of their company, their country and their civilians, rather than making a purely a military-focused organization? Because it appears like that hasn't worked out for them. It appears like what they've done is essentially awaken the dragon of Israel and caused, essentially, they're partially responsible for the chaos that's happening in their own country. I'll bring all this back. Well, it hasn't really worked out for them very well, but even with or without the tunnels, they've lost the country, so that was a bad move. So that's a bad move already for Hamas. They've literally signed their death warrant. Hopefully not, but I'm just being, hyperbolic. Right, let's put this over here. There are still Palestinians in Gaza. It's better than not having Hamas tunnels again defeated. Do you not have any criticisms for Hamas and how they've behaved, or do you think like they've been good boys this entire time? Because I can criticize Israel left, right, and center. That's pretty easy to do, and I can also criticize Hamas. I have no problem doing that. I think both of them have been a horror show, but I don't see how either side are good guys, like you said. Move growing tents. I'm sure individual Hammer soldiers did the wrong stuff, but the overall leadership tends to be pretty moral to me. Okay. Alright, I respect that. I respect that opinion. But, Refug, I'm gonna have to go now because my girlfriend's just got back. She's got cookies. But I'll say this again. Thanks again for the chat. You've been you're very patient with my lack of knowledge on the issue, and I felt like we had a good chat. So hopefully you think it was in good nature. Let's put it that way. How do I pack this up before I go? No problem. Great. Well, take care of yourself. Can you do me a favor, right? I know this sounds strange, but could you subscribe to my channel? You don't have to stay subscribed, but if you see the bottom, I've got tons of this coding, and I want to see if it changes if you subscribe. So you can unsubscribe afterwards, but I want to see if this moves. Latest follower. You don't have to. I just want to see if this changes. The oh, you can't see what I'm pointing at, can you? It's the latest follower. I want to see if that changes if you do something. If not, then the code's all messed up. Yeah, and if I don't hear from you, oh, you followed. That's very kind of you. Nothing's happened, but thank you anyway. And enjoy your weekend. If I don't see you for the rest of the weekend, I wish you all the best. And again, thanks for the chat. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to have a little think about what you said. And we'll chat about this another time. But until then, thanks for being my only source of entertainment for this evening. So take care.